to sell the Girl Scout cookies. Now, in the past, I hadn't really purchased Girl Scout cookies because my wife always buys them, and there's always 3 or 4 boxes in the house. So, but I don't know if you've ever done this. When you see the little Girl Scouts and you do one of these, if I don't look at them, they won't see me. Right? And I walked right by them, right? And then I went into the Starbucks and I'm standing there because what they said when I walked by was, "Want to buy some cookies, mister?" And so I'm standing in the line feeling guilty, just racked with guilt that I just dismissed them and didn't make eye contact and ignored them. Little girls, 11, 12 years old, how mean can I be, right? Now some people say, what would Jesus do, right? That's kind of a filter question that they ask themselves. What would Jesus do in that situation, right? Well, my wife is so spiritual, I always ask, what would Debbie do? Right? So I'm standing in the Starbucks line thinking, all right, what would Debbie do in this situation? The answer was, she would say, you know, honey, we always buy Girl Scout cookies. I was a Girl Scout, so I thought, fine. All right, but I'm not going to buy the cookies without testing their business acumen. I want to see if these little girls are perceptive and if they're quick studies, as quick as I think they might be. So since I teach sales training, I may as well, you know, do a little coaching. So I walked back out with my coffee in hand and I said, so, why should I buy your cookies? And the one little girl looked at me and then looked up at her mom as if to say, is it okay to talk to this creep? Right? And she said, it's okay, honey, go ahead. So the little girl says, well, duh, because they taste good. And the other little girl says, because we're raising money for a trip. I said, interesting. I said, well, let me share with you the 6 magic words of marketing. I said, you ready? What that means to me is. So I said, let's take what you just said. We're raising money for a trip. What that means to me is, I'll feel good about the investment because it's for a good cause. And I said, let's take what you said. They taste good. What that means to me is, they'll taste good with my coffee. I said, does that make sense? And she kind of went, yeah, I suppose. I said, then one other thing. I said, when I walked by, you said, want to buy some cookies. I said, the problem with that is, want to buy some cookies has 2 responses because it's a closed-ended question. It begins with a verb. Wanna. One of the answers is yes and the other is no. So more often than not, people are going to say no than yes because of the quality of the question. I said, if you just change the question to, would you like to buy 2 boxes or 4? Which would you prefer? I said, you're going to sell a lot more cookies. I said, does that make sense? And the more precocious of the 2 said, so, you're going to love how you feel once you make the investment in these cookies because it's for such a good cause. And they're going to taste terrific with your coffee. So would you like to buy 2 boxes or 4? Which would you prefer? And I took a couple of steps back and I said, no, not me. Everybody after me. And she gave me this look. You know the one, fellas, the sidelong glance. I said, fine, because my wife's given me that for years. I got out my wallet, and by golly, I bought $4 worth of cookies. And I remember walking away thinking, I'm going to need a lot more coffee if I'm going to get these cookies down. Right? So I come back an hour later, and they're gone. Where did the Girl Scouts go? They left. They're gone. Lazy Girl Scouts. I go in the Starbucks. They're in there celebrating. They got cocoa and brownies. One little girl's got brownie all over her teeth. I go, what are you guys doing in here? She goes, we sold all of our cookies. 47 boxes in 32 minutes. I go, good for you. Way to go. I said, what are you going to do with all that? She goes, well, we're going to go back and teach the rest of the girls in our troop what you taught us, so we're going to win that trip. I said, good for you. And the mom says, who are you? Do you have a card? And I gave her a copy of Freedom from Fear. Turns out she worked for Windermere Realty. Here's the point. If 2 little 12-year-old girls can assimilate 2 sound business sales and marketing tips in 90 seconds, why can't we do the same thing for plumbers and air conditioning frontline people? Because aren't we all in sales? We can do better than want to buy some cookies. Let's raise the bar here in Australia, shall we? Thanks for letting me play in your sandbox. We're all done. Did you get all that?
I sure did.
Oh, right on. Cheers, mate.
Hey, David.
Look at that.
Thank you, Mark. You've been amazing.
Cheers. I appreciate that. It's easy when you got great people in the room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my job's made easier. Yeah. Now, can you download that on YouTube?
I will do that just for you, my
Well,
friend.
I figured you would. I wonder what Matt thinks about that. I think we should give hugs
Over
all the
and
way
out.
around. Yeah.